The college football experience, Buffalo Bowls 2025 season preview episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Yes, Underdog's got a brand new offer for new customers. Play just $5 and get $50 in bonus funds when you sign up with the promo code, our promo code, TCESGPN. And remember, as always, folks, to let it ride.
This is Coach June Jones, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Yes! Woo! Welcome to the college football experience. You fuck with the Bowls, you get the horns. Buffalo Bowls 2025 season preview episode. Excited to talk Buffalo Bowl football because, man, we could go down a rabbit hole here on what the potential of this program when you really think about it. Well, we'll get there. You're probably wondering who the hell you're listening to, and that's fair. My name is Colby Swinging Database Dan, aka Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
Nobody knows nothing.
Somebody knows. Double the price, but no one touches Dundee.
Got a strong case of Blue Bowls for the next hour as we talk Blue Bowl football. The Buffalo Bowls. Good season last year. I mean, we have like a lot to talk about on this episode. I am joined by my co-host. He is also the host of the college basketball experience. Man, Buffalo had some fire seasons over with Hurley and Nate Oates. Got to get back to those days. We talk every college basketball game there is for every school for the whole season, just like we do for FBS and FCS college football. So subscribe, tell a friend. I am joined by former staffer at Austin Peay with the Governors, South Carolina with the Gamecocks, West Virginia with the Mountaineers, Ryan McIntyre, a.k.a. Monetlawn Mac. What's up, man?
What is up? Yes, Buffalo Bulls. Hell of a first year for Pete Lembo. Maction, let's go.
Mac tonight! Come on, make it Mac tonight!
Buddy, Pete Lembo. I mean, I have so much to talk about here. Pete Lembo, shout out to him, former Georgetown Hoya football player. Him, Joe Moorhead, used to play at Georgetown, I believe. Moorhead might have played elsewhere, but then he was a GA at Georgetown. I can't remember. But he is a fantastic football coach. I really believe that. And one of the, I would say if I had to jot down pre-episode, if you told me like 10 teams that shocked you or 5 teams that shocked you in college football last year, I'd be hard pressed not to put the Buffalo Bulls on that list because, the fact that the Lindquist leaving for Alabama was so late, I thought Lembo was kind of walking into it like a situation where, like, man, a lot of the players left. But you did a dive, we did a dive on this show when they hired him, and I were like, man, the guy's kind of awesome. I mean, you go 11-1 at Lehigh. Let me just sell this for you a little bit here. Pete Lembo was 11-1 at Lehigh, then 8-4, then 8-3, then 9-3, then 8-3. He was 44-14 at Lehigh. Then he went to Elon, and he had a losing season year 1 at 5-6, so just one game under 500. Then 7-4, 8-4, 9-3, 6-5. Then Ball State hires him. Ball State, year 1, 6-6, bowl eligible. Oh, they didn't select you to a bowl. Okay, whatever. Next year, 9 wins at Ball State, then 10 wins at Ball State, then 5 wins. You just missed out on a bowl with a veteran team, and then 3-9. Okay. They fire you? Are you kidding me? What?
This is Ball
What?
State.
Who the fuck do you think you are? And last season, he walks in late, probably one of the later hires, if not the latest hire of the season. And if you follow Buffalo Bowl football, Maurice Lindquist, I know you're down there at Alabama, and I'm sure you're getting paid well. But this team was ass in 2023, 3-9. Under Lindquist, they were 4-8, 7-6, and 3-9. Lembo walks in year one late, by the way, and goes 9-4 and beats the Flaming Libs that spend like 5 times more than their program in the bowl game. That is why football, college football, will always be awesome. Where are you at with Coach Lembo? Let's start the slideshow because I think this dude's a fucking great football coach.
He really is. 121 and 69 overall, and you laid it out. Last year was maybe his best coaching job outside. I mean, I guess the Lehigh era as well, and then Ball State winning 10 wins one year. But I think what was so impressive about Buffalo is the way they finished the year. The down the stretch, winning 5 in a row to end it, and then putting a exclamation point when they just beat the shit out of Liberty in that bowl game. So they really took on the identity of a first-year head coach in November, like we like to talk about it on the show. And I expect them to carry it into year 2, where the schedule is nice and they bring back a ton of returning production.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I can't believe they fired him at Ball State. Like, so I know I do this every year. I did this last year when they, but I just want to let people know that Ball State is in the MAC and one of the harder programs in the MAC. His defensive coordinator is a guy named Jay Bateman, by the way, who I think is back when he was at Ball State. Jay Bateman, very, very good defensive coordinator now at Texas A&M. But what I was trying to get at, Mac, was get this. His first game at Ball State ever as a head coach, he beat Indiana of the Big Ten, 27-20, right? The very next year, he plays that same Indiana team. He beats them 41-39 at their place, right? He also beats South Florida, who spends a way more amount of money than them. The following year, what does he do? Oh, they play Virginia at Virginia. They won by over 3 touchdowns at Virginia. How the fuck did Ball State fire this guy? What am I missing here?
Ball State, high expectations, baby. They've been pretty good since they fired him, right? Ugh.
Oh my God, dude. They lost at Iowa the year before he was fired, 17-13. I think this guy probably is like, you honestly, like, Lincoln Riley leaves USC, you should give Pete Lembo a call because the fucking guy can coach football, man. You do a deep dive on that. You're like, how are you out on this guy? And shout out to Rick Baum, by the way, Air Force. Go Air Force football. Go check out our Air Force preview. And shout out to Myron Kidd, who's right. Pete Lembo, even though he went to Georgetown, played at Georgetown, he is a New York guy. It's a great match. I think this guy is a phenomenal football coach, and I think Buffalo hit a home run. And I think at the time when you saw Lindquist leave for Alabama, you said, Pete Lembo, who's that? I had, even myself, I think, Pete, if you're listening to this, no disrespect, brother, but I thought the name, like, I was like, I know that name, but I couldn't put a face to it.
Well,
I was like,
it's been 10 years since he got.
Yeah, I was like, wait a second, he coached somewhere, but I was like, was it? I'm like, in my head, I was like, was it North Texas? Was it, what was it? William and Mary? I don't know, but I was like, I know that name, Pete Lembo. Great fucking coaching job last year. You look at last year, what he did, man. 9 wins, and then this is Buffalo program. Remember, they had Leipold, right? He had 9 wins. And to me, like, this, what was this win total? I want to say it was like 4.5 or something. Yeah.
So he doubled it.
That is rare.
Yeah.
When you can double the win total, that is fucking rare. I just want to highlight this, and I know I follow him on Twitter, and I know he's been very adamant on, like, come out to UB games, right? Go check the Buffalo Bolts. It's an affordable price to catch college football, right? And I co-sign that. I know Buffalo Bill fans are great, and you know my vendetta with the NFL, but I also think that this is a sleeping giant because I don't value Buffalo like I do New York City as far as like, sorry, New York City and Boston and the Northeast, but you have a lot of fickle fan bases to me, right? Like when it's down, the chips are fucking down. Now, some of that is their passion for how much they love their teams, but also I value Buffalo like as like a I remember like as a kid just like getting into every form of football there was, and like the Buffalo Destroyers were an Arena League team. And I remember the Buffalo Sabres, obviously they're still there, but I'm saying their fucking fans are awesome. And I'm like, man, at what point can they ignite UB football with the city? Because I thought Leipold was going to get there, but Leipold bounced to Kansas. I still say there's a stick of dynamite just waiting. If you're talking about MAC schools, I know like Ohio was flirting with the Sun Belt. They allegedly. Buffalo is like it's still like a top 100 populated city in America. You know,
and they love football.
And yeah, that's what I'm saying. And for some reason, there seems to be a little bit of like a disconnect. Part of it because Buffalo was playing D3 football like in the past 20 years or in the past 30 years. I'm sorry. Like Buffalo was a D3 team up to like 93 or 94 or something. Right. And then they made that jump all the way to D1. So maybe that's some of it. But I mean, that's another thing, Mac, is the school has 32,000 students. If you're playing this game like I like to play, almost like Monopoly with college football, where me and Patty C would sit there and say, I think Cincinnati will be a power school. We did this like 20 years ago. But honestly, like 25 years ago, we like UCF will be a power school. Now, we said that for San Diego State. That never happened. We said that for UNLV. That never happened. But Buffalo, I do think has way more potential than every school in the MAC. I think Pete Lembo is a phenomenal coach, man. And I think that if he stays there long term, they might be what I'm talking about. You agree? You see what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying?
I see your vision. Maybe they need to go independent like UMass was. Switch places so they can get some higher profile games. I would say them and Ohio U, the Bobcats. I feel like the Bobcats brand in Athens, in Toledo too.
I was about to say Toledo fans were the first to get like offended by that because they've been dominant in the MAC for so long. But see, and Toledo's population is actually bigger than you think. But for me at least, but Buffalo just with the you see Bills Mafia,
yes,
you know the originators of throwing the dildo on the field. By the way,
yeah,
yeah, that's their blueprint. And you also have Toronto right there. Like if you start to build a winning culture, I think not only will you get Buffalo, but you'll get surrounding people in the area, whether it's upstate New York or whether it's like I just feel like the potential is there. We have a lot to go through, though. You got some stuff at the stadium we got to talk about. Well, but man, Pete Lembo, what's that?
And if Lembo has another, let's say, a 9-10 win season, does he bolt? That's the other thing. You got to be able to keep Lembo to keep the momentum.
Yeah, you got to be a little bit terrified. Like if Fran Brown leaves for an SEC job.
Yeah, I was just about to say.
Does Syracuse call Pete Lembo?
They'd be idiots not to.
They would, but they've been idiots a lot in their existence. They had this awesome stadium. Let me tell you, it's called Archbold Stadium, one of the greatest stadiums in the history of sport. And they said, you know what? This isn't working for us. Let's build a thing called the Carrier Dome. We can play basketball here. Jim Boeheim can pick his boogers and flick them, and guess what? It's not going to hit anybody, right? And we can also play football here. They haven't won a national championship since. They haven't even been fucking nationally relevant really since, with the exception of a little bit of the 80s with Don McPherson. Anyway, what am I doing? Let me get to this. Pete Lembo, doing a great job. Year one, back as a head coach. First time in 10 years. The offense, Dave Potnod. He's doing the damn thing. 59th in scoring offense, 110th pass offense, 52nd in rushing offense, 95th in total offense. Me and Myron, I'm telling you, man, Myron, we got to get up for beers one day, man. I feel like we're fast friends already, brother. I know those numbers, you're thinking that shit, but I'm telling you, it's actually not that bad. It's actually not that bad. Then they return OJ Henderson. We had the chat talking about him earlier. Dog at the running back spot.
Had a big year.
Dog. Channeling his inner Jared Patterson. Wide receiver Victor Snow. And 3 of 5 back on the O-line. Dottie, Brock, Tabansi. I'm not forgetting you on the O-line. They hit the portal. And boy, did they bring in someone that I think could really help this team. Taquan Roberson is a guy that I am very excited to watch this year. I know other podcasts, you mentioned Taquan Roberson and say, who? Some might remember him as a 4-star recruit initially from Penn State.
Mm-hmm.
He transferred to UConn. And you might remember Jim Moore's first year at UConn. I believe week 0, they played Utah State. And early in that game, Taquan Roberson was balling. And he tore his ACL. Right? I remember like early in that game.
I think they had the lead.
Yeah, I was saying, like, I think he had a drive or two, and I was like, man, this fucking dude's an athlete. He can play ball. And he tore his ACL, and then UConn found their guy, or thought they found their guy. But he was good enough that K-State on one game, on 2 quarters, were like, hey, you should come here.
Yep.
Now, obviously, K-State had Avery Johnson. But Taquan Roberson, I think, is a very good get for the MAC. And I think Pete Lembo, to me, I don't know. I'm not going to tell Pete Lembo how to coach, but I'm just saying, I think this is a very good get. I think this is under the radar. If you've played college football, fantasy football, Taquan Roberson, I think could be a sleeper. They also brought in receiver Josiah Gathings from UConn. I don't know if him and Roberson perhaps knew each other. Also, let's go get a piece of Trim. Oh no, Jake Trim, the offensive lineman from the fucking Long Island Sharks, baby, coming in. I like that get.
How did an LIU guy get on it for?
He's like, you know what? I know we're playing at Florida week 1, but I want to go. I want Maction, baby. The Swamp or Maction? Maction all day. Also, offensive lineman Jacob Merritt. I'm a huge fan of the movie 48 Hours. One of my teachers in school at UCLA, there was the guy who wrote 48 Hours. And it's funny because Eddie Murphy has a great part where he's like, I'm trying to get some trim. He's like talking to this girl as he's dancing. And also Nick Nolte has a system. He's like, well, yeah, I believe in the merit system. You ain't earned no points. Folks, if you haven't seen 48 Hours, they're remaking it. It's going to be fucking horrible. I'm just going to let you know from the start. They're remaking this, and you cannot do, like, I actually think it might be the worst film ever made. There's potential for the worst film ever made. But the old school 48 Hours with Reggie Hammond, there's a new sheriff in this town. It's hard to beat that shit. And by the way, like, they would not, like, I thought they would, like, when I was in his class, he said this movie would never be made today. But then I hear they're remaking it. So there must have, I'm just going to say that film was edgy. It was weird. It was racist, but not racist. Which was, I think, the genius of it, personally. It's like you had these 2 guys from 2 different cultures that were just shitting on each other, right? And, you know, they were ruthless to each other, but yet they still had a love for one another. It was just like, I highly recommend it for an action movie. To me, like, have all your Fast and the Furious all day. That shit don't hold a candle up to 48 Hours. Go watch 48 Hours. How are you doing? Welcome to the College Football Experience.
How'd you even get off?
Because he says, because Trim and Merritt are 2 big quotes in that movie where Eddie Murphy gets out of prison. He's been in prison for like 2 years. He gets out and he meets some hot chick on a dance floor, and he's like, he's bold because he's like, he's like, honey, what's going on? We danced. I'm just trying to get some trim. And she's like, are you kidding me? She's like, I just want to know you. But he's like, honey, I've been in prison for 2 years. My dick gets hard when the wind blows, right? He's like, what are we doing, right? He's like, classic Eddie Murphy, right? But then you also have Nick Nolte, who's fucking hilarious in that film, right? And he's like, well, and Eddie Murphy wants like a lunch, and he takes him to a vending machine, and it was just an incredible action movie, in my opinion. And having that as one of my teachers, who, by the way, I could do like another hour on that fucking show or on that movie. But I know none of you guys would care because this is a football show. But it's quite hilarious how that movie was made. There's a backstory. If you ever meet me at a bar, ask me to tell you that story because it's one of the craziest fucking stories ever. I'll tell you that.
This is the Bulls O-line recap.
Yeah. What are we talking about here? Trim and Merritt. Look, the Buffalo Bulls. I think this offense is going to fly. I'm going to say they're going to improve. Terrible transition, but I'm saying they're going to be better than 95th in the nation, Mac. Would you agree?
Yeah, because they bring back an 1,000-yard rusher, and then Snow was their leading pass catchers. It's kind of amazing that they were able to retain both of them in this era of the portal and NIL. I'm shocked that they didn't get plucked. So, and then 3 back on the O-line, and here comes Robertson at the quarterback position. So this is he's the key. If he can stay healthy, this offense should be firepower.
Robertson, by the way, but yeah.
Robertson.
Yeah, tomato. God damn it! You're talking about 48 hours, Dundee. You're gonna correct me on fucking Robertson.
Hey, he's got big shoes to fill. Obana was good last year, man.
Yeah.
Ubana.
No, he was a beast. Ubana, right? Obina might have been.
These names.
I don't know shit about anything, but I'm excited about these Buffalo Bulls.
We're on preview 120 right now.
Yeah, I am going crazy a little bit. I mean, I'm like halfway in my sleep, and I got just watch the 3-4 blitz. What's going on? Out going left for Cincinnati Bengals. Look, let's talk about this defense. Man, Joe Bowen.
Nice name.
Yeah, simple, nice and simple. That's what we appreciate. We're asking the world to simplify their names. All right, doesn't matter what culture you're from. All right.
I found his LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Joe Bowen. Just
keep it simple, folks. I don't care what culture. I don't care where. We love you all. But I'm just saying, keep it simple, man. You know what I appreciate was God Sham God. It was very easy to read. You know what I mean? Like you never got nervous with God Sham God, the former point guard. Anyway, Buffalo Bulls scoring defense 79th, pass defense 108th, rush defense 62nd, 91st in total defense. I know those numbers, but I'm telling you, when you're in the Wacky Mac and you play a bunch of non-con games, it's not as bad as you think. Man.
Well, that's positive, especially retaining your D coordinator. I mean, Bowen's he has experience in the MAC too at Miami of Ohio before Buffalo.
Dude, I don't want to read this list. I'm intimidated.
Starters.
All right, George Wolo, you only live life once. All right, look, he's back at the D tackle spot. Same with Cornell Evans, defensive end Kobe Stewart, dog back. Linebacker Deion Crawford, dog back. And honestly, linebacker Red Murdoch might have the best name in college football. All right, that's just a great name. I feel like you're just watching Apocalypse Now or some shit. It's like, I'll call Red Murdoch for the job. But Nickelback, Jalen McNair, back. Marquise Cooper at the corner spot, back. Charles McCartherins, back at the cornerback spot. Safety Solomon Brown. Man, who the hell's not back? I should have made a list on who's not back. That would have been easier.
One linebacker and one DB.
Well, I mean, actually, the linebacker was an absolute beast in Sean Dolak. But linebacker, they bring in Mitchell Gosner from fucking Holy Cross. Linebacker Connor Henderson from North Texas. Keontae Bradley, a corner. from Arizona State, and a JUCO transfer in safety Miles Greer, as well as kicker Jack Howes from Maryland. I mean, you return that much production, like a big jump. I think it's gonna be a big jump. How about you?
It should be, especially with Bowen coming back for a second year. So they all play for him. They know the terminology. I expect them to take a big leap here in year 2.
Yeah, and shout out to Dan Savage. These motherfuckers ran the triple for one game against Toledo and totally effed them up last year. Great coaching chops at UB. I mean, isn't that the best part about college football? And DB Cooper and Hasty are killing it on the Providence references.
Yes.
Eric Murdoch, that is a good reference. Dude, the defense is better. The offense is better. I guess the one thing would be the quarterback spot. It's been a minute since he was the full-on starting quarterback.
He's got to stay healthy.
Yeah, got to stay healthy and got to just I don't know. I feel like, to me, like, you probably got so many reps at Kansas State that you're like in the practice world where you're probably ready to go in the MAC, but still something. There's something about playing the real game that we have to monitor a little bit. But I'm excited to see Taquan Roberson take off. Folks, we're going to talk about the state of the program with the Buffalo Bulls. I talked about that shit, man. That they're big enrollment, bigger city than a lot of other schools within college football and within the MAC. But before we do that, I want to let you know that the college football experience is brought to you by mybookie.ag. Yes, MyBookie is your place to bet on every single summer sport. MLB, I bet the hell out of it. CFL, I host a show called the CFL Gambling Podcast, so you better believe I bet the hell out of it. Golf, I don't really bet golf, but it's out there for you. All right, it's out there. You can have fun, make a lot of money. I know the Golf Gambling Podcast. Check out those guys. Racing, I will bet some racing occasionally. Never from my own mind though. I just tail people. All right. WNBA, I look, I'll be honest. I bet the hell out of these dildo colors. This shit's not working out for me. It's not working out for me, but I'm optimistic. College football futures. I honestly have like way too much money. My wife's like, what happened to our bank account? I'm like, honey, it's college football futures. College football futures. NFL futures, shit like that. You know what I mean? So MyBookie has all of that available for you. And MyBookie accepts customers from a ton of different locations, even outside of the States. You could easily deposit, get lightning fast payouts using crypto. So head on over to mybookie.ag. And when you do, use our promo code TCESGPN for 100% bet back bonus, which is up to $500. Terms and conditions apply. Of course, that's mybookie.ag. Promo code TCESGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Yes, college football's back on Rhythm. Last season, Rhythm's predictive models had a 22% ROI on non-conference spreads. They killed it on FCS totals as well. Check out the FCS college football experience because we did too. Week 0 and week 1 last year, by the way, Rhythm was 16-4 ATS plus 11.6 units. Rhythm also has all the other sports too: golf, WNBA, MLB, and of course NFL, the National Football League. Go to the app and make your own model since predictions are now live. Get your free 7-day trial period today. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's RITHMM. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. All right, we are back talking bowl football. Another case of blue bowls. Mac, state of the program is not only your winning traditions, which, by the way, like, we didn't really talk about that. Lance Leipold had this thing going a little bit. Don't sleep on Turner Gill. Turner Gill is a good football coach. I don't know where he's at in the world. I know his wife had cancer. I want to send the best out to the Gill family. But I think he's a good football coach. And Buffalo has had some decent football coaches in like the past 15 years or so. So the potential's there, man. I just don't. What's stopping them from being great? They got to connect more a little bit with the city. And also, in my opinion, you got to fix the fucking football stadium.
Yeah.
UB Stadium's 32 years young, all right? You can do this. You can do this. But one thing I believe, and I do, like, Hawaii still has a track right now around the Ching Complex. They're going to be playing there on Saturday against Stanford. I do not blame Hawaii because, well, I blame a little bit the people that thought they should never renovate Aloha Stadium because you have to garden your shit. You know what I mean? Like you have to take care. You have to water the flowers. But they kind of got thrown into a crazy situation where some people tested for earthquakes, said like you can't play at Aloha Stadium. So they kind of on the fly had to run over to the soccer field. So I'm going to give them a pass at Hawaii. They got the new plans for Aloha Stadium coming. I will not give this one a pass because you've been in the fucking FBS for 20 some years now. I'm giving your stadium a 5 of 10. There's potential. Look at that. Look at that yonder. Look out at that yonder.
It's so much empty space with the track.
Yeah. You just, to me, like once you get to FBS, you got to ditch the track. You can kind of get away with that shit in the FCS, but like that shit hurts. Like if you're talking to like the average Buffalo Bill fan, I can see why this would be like a pun. You know, they would sit there and say like, dude, what are we doing here? You know, like they just, to me, I can't think of any other schools besides those two. Now, back in the day, like I remember like in the 90s, Ohio State had the track. They didn't give a shit.
Kansas had it forever.
That's what I'm saying. They weren't self-aware enough, but like now it's like, what are we doing here? Throw money in, get rid of the track, bring the stadium closer. You don't have to actually move the stadium. You just build into it. You do that and you put a winning product out there. I watched the Buffalo Destroyers be like a hot ticket in Buffalo at one point in the Arena Football League. And trust me, no one really gives a shit about the Buffalo Destroyers, but college football people do. So I do think it could be contagious. You also have a 12-team playoff that is talking about going to 28. So why not? Now is the iron's hot. Strike. You also got a body of water back there. I like that. So you can somewhat sailgate, it looks like, from that shot. Mac, I'm giving it a 5 of 10, and I feel like I'm being very generous. What are you doing here?
Yeah, I give it a 3. It's they got to get rid of that dead area. It's like you said, it's 2025, and look how far back the bleachers are in the end zone.
I guarantee if you go like, and I shit on NFL stadiums nonstop, but not War Memorial, Rich Stadium, whatever they're fucking calling it nowadays. I guarantee you, like you go to that and you go to this, you're like, man, it feels like it's a big difference. Well, you're trying to me, if it were me, I would say, well, that's your sample size right there. You got a bunch of crazy Buffalo Bill fans. Why should they not be Buffalo Bull fans? Right? That shows that they love football. Now, how do we connect with that? Well, when you go to the game, you shouldn't feel like you're watching the game from the fucking parking lot. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Like, how far back they are.
That's what I'm saying. Like
30 yards.
Dude, I honestly think if it was me, like I would, if you're going to lean into this, I would go all the way. I'd have the fucking mascot doing laps the whole fucking game. You know what I mean? Like you got to do something because it's one of the only FBS schools. And like I said, Hawaii was thrown in kind of a crazy scenario where you can understand why that's why they have it. Yeah. And I'm with Dilly Daggers in the chat. Put the students behind the end zone. Let's go. All right. Let's go. So yeah, that's our ranking. I mean, I think there's potential though, Matt. Can you, with 32,000 students, man?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
I know, like, if you saw my resume, I would probably not be qualified for an athletic director, but I feel like I could walk in and be like, guys, this is fucking pathetic. We got to change this
area, right?
We got to change this right now.
Yeah.
All right. Because you actually have winning history. I'm looking at this. How many winning seasons have they had? What, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? I mean, in the past 11 football seasons, they have what, 7 winning seasons. Buy into that, man. You're in a big city. This is not Kent, Ohio. You can figure this shit out. You know what I mean? Or Muncie, Indiana. But hey, maybe this shows the catalyst. I do like this locker room shit you got going with this bowl. Makes you want to do a Jaeger bomb right there. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Look at this right here. I like this. All right. come be a part of Buffalo football. I am 100% behind that. I love Buffalo Bowl football. I love all of these teams. But yeah, anyway, we're that's the ranking we're giving it. You fix the track. All right, get out of here with that. State of the program though, I will give it a 7. I just mentioned how many winning. Like, I will say this: Lindquist never really worked out at Buffalo, but man, they've been pretty decent on these hires.
Yeah, Lightpool was awesome.
And Turner Gill was pretty solid too. Like, Turner Gill's kind of the guy that got it going a little bit. I mean, he had an 8-win season. Before that, it was like, man, this is one of the worst. So that when they came up in 99, 0-11, 2-9, 3-8, 1-11, 1-11, 2-9, 1-10, 2-10. And Turner Gill was 2-10, by the way, but he still improved on that win total. But then he went to 5-7, then 8-6, then 5-7. He kind of laid that foundation of like, hey, we can be decent. Jeff Quinn took it to that next level with an 8-win season, and then Leipold really took it to that next level. And I think Pete Lembo is that guy that's going to do that, man. So, what do you give the state of the program?
7's fair. Great first year. Leipold really got it going. A couple down years before Lembo takes over. 7. I think 7. Next year we might be talking about an 8 or 9.
Let's go. Shout out to Mo in the chat. What happened to Patty C and NC Nick, Colby? Look, they're still with us. They're still with us on planet Earth. But look, NC Nick has kids, man, and he is coaching multiple teams. So he was just like, dude, I love the show, but I need to take a break because I don't have any open nights. And I'm married. He's happily married. And Patty C, same situation. He had some stuff come up and he needed to focus on that. Patty C said he will be back on some reaction shows. We'll see. But obviously, you know, I've been friends with those guys. I mean, NC Nick's my brother. So I mean, like,
blood.
Yeah. Patty C, I've known him and his family since I was like, honestly, since like I was a fucking 4-year-old or something. We played ankle biter football together and shit. You know what I mean? Like, so they'll be back at some point. It's just right now they're pivoting from it, and life gets in the way sometimes. You know what I mean? I got a 1-year-old son. Shit, I didn't want to do the show tonight. And I love you guys, but I was like, damn it, man. Cleaning up vomit and shit. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, I don't really feel like talking Wake Forest football right now. Now, Buffalo Bowl football, it's a different story. But Wake Forest, I was kind of like, man, I don't really feel like talking about Wake Forest football. So that's essentially what happened. But trust me, I think they'll probably be back. But even if they're not back, if you hang out with us, there's a great chance you're going to see one of them. All right. So there we go. Yeah, Sam saying Patty C doing shotguns was hilarious. Yeah, well, I also think that could have been some of the decision making. When you show up to the studio the next day and Patty C's sleeping in his car, I go, you know, maybe we try some different shit out. I love Patty C though. He's my guy forever, man. And but no, that's my guy. Anyway, let's get into the schedule because people are like, what the hell are we talking about here? Week 1. We got a great game. Thursday night. I can't wait for this game, actually. I think it's flying under the radar.
Watch out, Golden Gophers.
Watch out. You saw Bowling Green go in there with Scotty Leffler. I can tell you this. Pete Lembo is a much better coach than Scotty Leffler.
Taking the points.
I'll definitely take the point. I mean, I'll take Minnesota, but I think it's a ball game we got here, especially if Taquan Roberson can play to the level I think he's capable of. But I'll take Minnesota with that home crowd behind him. But is this a game that I really, really want to watch? Sure. And I'm going to have to watch. If I go to this ECU NC State game, which, by the way, anyone listening, I said this before. I don't want to be media. I know I can apply and be media.
That means you can't drink.
And that means I can't be an ECU fan. Dude, when I was at Washington State as media, I went up there for a game. Leach, would take us up there. And I didn't realize the etiquette that you're supposed to have.
Yeah.
And you're just like they scored a touchdown and I was like, hell yeah. And the whole room looked at me and I was like, What's going on with you? Right? I didn't know. And then former cornerback Torrey Hunter, shout out to Torrey Hunter. He's like, dude, you can't do that shit here, man. And I was like, oh, my bad. Can't be a fan. What a terrible fucking room this is. Let me go downstairs. Yeah.
There's perks to doing the media because you can get on the field and you can talk to people, but then when the game starts, it sucks.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm trying to go to the NC State game, but I'm like trying to justify $200 ticket prices right now.
Yeah.
Because NC Nick, I'm like, man, are we really going to do this? And it's like, man, that's $400 right there. And we haven't even tailgated or anything yet, but we'll probably end up going. But I want to watch this game. 0-1 though, but I think they are live.
Yeah. This is there's always one game at least, sometimes 2 or 3 on that Thursday night opener where a Power 4 is in a dogfight in the fourth quarter. I think it's this one.
Yeah. I mean, there's a couple on Thursday night. You got the South Florida Boise, you got ECU, NC State.
Yep.
And I on the ECU show, I forgot 1986 we stormed. So this would be the 4th time if we win and we storm Carter Finley. This would be the 4th time in my life that we would have stormed Carter Finley. At this point, I'd be curious how many times NC State fans have stormed since 1986. I think we might have stormed more than they have. Anyway, excited to watch this Buffalo Minnesota game. Week 2.
Win.
St. Francis, man, poor St. Francis, man. I know a bunch of their alumni were pissed off with that news that they're dropping down D3. I was pissed off too, man. Is this a team that beat an FBS in Kent State or Akron last season? It's a shame because I know when they announced that, a bunch of their players transferred out, football and basketball. So 1-1. What are you doing here?
Yeah, they should roll here.
Then week 3. Oh, who will be the tougher opponent? I really think so. Kent State. Oh my God.
2-1.
You know, I jokingly, I not really jokingly, but like for the sake of this show, I was joking. But between me and you, like if we had talked, I was like, man, Kent State's the worst fucking team. I told you Mary Mac is live week 1 against them. I said I think majority of the FCS would beat Kent State this year. Well, damn if I said that to you, but we weren't on air. And who released it? Was it Bill Connolly? Released
like 60 teams in the FC.
Yeah. So I'm like, damn, man, he knows his shit because I knew too, man. As someone that hosts the FCS show and watches a shit ton of FCS, I was like, Kent State would get smacked in the mouth by a lot of FCS teams. The cat's out of the bag. Everyone knows it now. They're gonna rout. This will be a 3 touchdown win.
Yeah.
Minimum. Yeah.
38-14.
Then Troy. Trojan men. They head to Buffalo. This is an interesting game because Troy was a team I feel like some people were higher on. They lost some guys in the portal late in the portal.
Yeah. And some injuries.
I got Buffalo winning this, man.
Yeah.
So if Buffalo gets that Minnesota game, this is a nice runway.
Yeah, to the next one, that's a big one. 3-1 for me.
Yeah. 3-1 as well. Then this game's awesome. Regionality. It's back in college football. Give it a try, folks. UConn at Buffalo.
Roberson
played he started one game at UConn before his ACL injury. I think we took Buffalo on the UConn preview.
We did. UConn beat the shit out of them last year over there in Stores. We got Buffalo revenge for me. 4-1.
This is a great game, dude.
Yeah.
This is like this should be a Thursday night. They should put this on Thursday night. This game would be perfect. Yeah. 4-1. Let's go. Shout out to Sam. He knows this game will be fun. That's how the real ones, right? Yeah. This game is a good football game. Then Eastern Michigan heading into UB Stadium. It's a sneaky game too, man, because you come off beating UConn, who I think I know it doesn't count as a P4 win, but in their mind it might. Win. I'll say win. It's homecoming. Give me a win.
You know what's crazy is 3 straight home games here against quality opponents.
You're right. I mean, honestly, really, it's a nice schedule for them.
Yeah,
Really,
4 out of 5 here on a homestand, and then they got another one coming up here as well. I'll take a win over Eastern Michigan at home, 5-1.
I'll say this: Chris Creighton is normally in every football game he's ever been a part of.
Yeah, it'll be a tight game.
So this will be super tight. But yeah, I'm with you. Unbelievable start there. Imagine if they were to upset Minnesota.
6-0, they'd be ranked. College football playoff.
What a great story that would be. Then we got a bye week. And we come out of the bye week and another regional battle. But now it's a conference game. I'm sorry, Buffalo's going to go in there and smack them. Especially, I saw they announced their starting quarterback today. It was the
young kid.
Yeah, the redshirt freshman, I think it is. Yeah, Buffalo's going to go into UMass and get that dub. So I got them sitting there. Man, what are we at right now? 7-1?
6-1. If Buffalo was not off the bye week, I would be tempted to take UMass after all those tough home games. But I like the spot here. 6-1 for me.
Yeah. Then tricky game is the Akron Zips. Not bowl eligible, but Michigan's coach can pick and choose his games he wants out. Does it make any sense to you? I'm going to take Buffalo again. If this was at Akron, I think I would. I think Akron's actually not that bad this year, but I'll take the Bulls to get this done. You?
Seventh straight win since the opener.
That's what I'm saying. If they get that Minnesota game, they could crash the college football fucking playoffs, dude. With that start, with that runway, the pressure. Now, could they handle that pressure? Because after this, they head into the fucking Deut to take on Eddie George and Bowling Green.
This is where Maction starts. If you're 7-1, you're gonna drop one of these games.
I just need Eddie George was such a late hire. He's like Lembo this year.
Yeah.
I got Buffalo winning this, man. I think they're better.
I'll give him this one, and I think I may pick him to get picked off the next one. 8-1.
Then, another bye week. What a great bye week, by the way.
Splits the road games up. Yeah.
What a great bye week. Then you're heading into Mount Pleasant, Michigan. This is the one. Because this is Wednesday, nationally televised Maction.
Yeah.
And you have Miami and Ohio on deck who played for the fucking conference championship the past 2 years.
Yeah.
This is a complete look ahead spot.
This is the Wacky Mac. They're going to storm in Mount Pleasant against Buffalo.
I'm with you, man. This is an upset.
It's going to be great. 8-2.
8-2, and then Miami, Ohio. But that's going to have them back on track. And Miami, Ohio coming there. As much as I love Daquan Finn, that's a loss when you go into UB Stadium. So I got them 9-2 right now.
I got them 9-2 as well, and that sets up a huge game to end the year.
Absolutely. As the Ohio Bobcats, Brian Smith, year one coach, but Parker Navarro back and a lot of that roster that won the championship a year ago. But here's the thing. You don't have that chip on your shoulder. When you win the championship, just the human element of that. Buffalo's going to catch them. I got them 10-2, man.
I feel like I want to give them a loss somewhere else.
If you're going to give them a loss somewhere else,
I'm going to give him UMass. UMass shocks the world. And
so wait, now you're back on the UMass over.
Yeah,
what was that before? UMass fans gave you shit. I saw it on Twitter.
Yeah, they bullied me into it.
Yeah.
Let's go. Frank Martin, baby. 9-3. I got him 9-3. I feel I like it. It's still the over.
Dude, what?
This is a lock.
What am I missing here? First off, they don't play Toledo, who's the best school in the MAC, roster wise.
Mm-hmm.
They don't play Northern Illinois.
They don't play Western Michigan.
That's what I'm saying. Like some of the best teams in this conference, they're missing. Who's the fourth team they're missing? Is there a fourth team they're missing?
Ball State.
You kind of want that on there for Lembo revenge.
Yeah.
But
although Ball State almost beat them last year, it was like 51-48 in like triple overtime.
Dude, plus 550 to win the MAC.
Yeah.
What are we doing here? We have to bet that.
They're going to make the championship game with this schedule. They get
Dude.
Ohio and Miami of Ohio at home.
And so late in the year where the anticipation of like the crowd will come out.
Yeah.
They might even be standing on that track doing relays and shit, right? But
or just running to fucking keep warm in Buffalo.
Hear me out here, man. Everyone's talking Boise, including myself, and San Jose State and Navy and Memphis and UTSA and Tulane and even the Flaming Libs of Liberty. Are we sleeping? If they get Minnesota week 1, that might be the biggest game week 1, because when I look at the remaining schedule, where are they dogs? Because they're hosting Ohio, to your point. They're hosting Miami, Ohio. They might be dogs to UConn, even though that game is in Buffalo.
Yeah.
They might be favored in every other fucking game.
They should be favored in 10 out of 12 games, with the one exception being UConn, a short favorite or short dog. But yeah, if they get Minnesota, there's a path to 12-0 for Buffalo.
That game is like so huge. That's how you know, like, the real college football fans, because I feel like a normal college fan, Buffalo, Minnesota going on. But like that game, if Buffalo wins that.
Now here's the problem. This is the wacky max. So there's no.
Well, that's why I took Central Michigan.
I know. But if they go 11-1 in the MAC, I don't think they're going to make the playoff. But if they have a win over Minnesota,
I was about to say, if they have a win over Minnesota, they win 7 or 8 games, they might.
Yeah, and UConn. I mean, we projected UConn to go 9-3.
Yeah. One thing that I do also like about this schedule within the MAC,
oh yeah,
is I am counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 first-year coaches within the MAC. There's a new coach at Kent State. There's a new coach at UMass. There's a new coach at Bowling Green. There's a new coach at Central Michigan, and there's a new coach at Ohio. Oh shit! I think
this is the best schedule in the MAC by far, and I guess we haven't done a couple of them, but Kent State can't play Kent State, so I know they're by default they're not the best schedule.
Honestly, like UConn, the ceiling is what? The ceiling is 11-1 or 12-0.
Probably 11-1. What's the last team in the MAC to go 12-0?
PJ Fleck and Western Michigan.
Yeah, so it happens once every 25 years.
I'm just saying they got a 4-star quarterback.
Yeah, 11-1 ceiling, floor 7-5.
I don't even know that I can build that. So Minnesota, UConn,
Troy, maybe.
I guess
it's warm.
I guess
not cold. Yeah,
I guess. And Eastern. So they lose those 4, and then
at UMass.
I don't know how you get to this at UMass. I just can't do that. I can't get there.
UMass been playing in the fucking SEC schedule.
I can't get there. I'm like you're making this UMass one just look, man. Maybe Bowling Green's more like Eddie George. To me, he's overhauling a little bit of the style of play that they are used to. So I'm kind of valuing that as a rebuild, but maybe just the talent there is so good that like they're ahead of schedule. 7-5 is the floor, but I would be very surprised if they were 7-5.
Yeah,
that's a lock.
This should be a 9 or 10 win team.
Yeah. Folks, we will be back in about 20 minutes. Jeez, we're going deep tonight. We're going late with the Pitt Panthers season preview. Moneyline Max on Twitter at Moneyline_Mac. I'm on Twitter at TheColeBD. The College Football Experience is on Twitter at TCE on SGPN. Mac, get drunk, dude, because you're going to be talking Pitt Panther football.
I know, the latest preview of the damn year. We got to talk about this shit ass team. Under.
I I put together a slideshow honoring the history of UB football on the way out. Enjoy it. YouTube.com/the college experience. We're breaking out all 136 teams. Don't forget about our Nixon tapes. All right. People don't know President Nixon is actually very important for why the NFL is successful, to tell you the truth. If you do a deep dive, Nixon wanted to watch the Redskins-Eagles playoff game.
Yeah, I do know this story.
This is a great story, man. I know we got to go, but I'm just saying, if you do a deep dive on this shit,
it's hilarious.
He basically called Pete Rozelle and was like, dude, what the fuck? Because every playoff game was blacked out.
Yeah.
And the NFL wasn't very profitable at that point. And he's like, dude, I want to watch this Redskins-Eagles game. And my dad can attest to this. Because growing up in DC and stuff, my dad's like, dude, we used to have to drive out. We'd all get a hotel like an hour outside of DC to watch the Redskins game. If you couldn't afford the tickets or it was a sellout, in the playoffs, they would black out all the games, even whether it's sellout or not. They would black it out locally. And Nixon changed that. Nixon's like, what the fuck are we doing here? It's like, I'm trying to watch the damn game. I'm the president of the United States. All right. I am not a crook. All right. But anyway, I don't know what the hell we're talking about. We do a deep dive on that. You'll appreciate it. Till next time, this is the college football experience, Buffalo Bowl style. Great case of blue balls we got here. Till next time, this is the college football experience. You better start thinking about yours. And we out of here.
Mailbox 1. You have 7 messages.
1.
I'm not saying I'm impossible to outsmart my body and soul, or nothing without heart. And I'm not saying I'm impossible to outrun my body and soul, or nothing without love. And I'm not saying I'm impossible to outdo my body and soul, or nothing without truth. And I'm not saying it's impossible, but you're nothing without yourself. We're the obsession to be a part of that, started that. Mind over matter don't matter in the market. I've seen much smarter cats have heart attacks. Largely cause leaders need lambs to be lethargic. Match wits with the half-wit phantom. I don't need jumper cables or mic cords to analyze an analytical anthem. Between my two ears, an engine pumping the life force. Force field for your grip on the grievance. Still gonna feel unchallenged and bored stiff. So arrange the pieces to prepare cohesive. All the hard work will go largely ignored if your hands are covered with post-its and paper cuts. You need to have your voice in the vice grip. The one who made it famous ain't the one who made it up. You don't get overtime just for working the night shift. I'm not saying I'm impossible to outsmart my body and soul, or nothing without heart. And I'm not saying I'm impossible to outrun my body and soul, or nothing without love. And I'm not saying I'm impossible to outdo my body and soul, or nothing without truth. And I'm not saying it's impossible, but you're nothing without yourself. Every time I close my eyes, I'm taken to the same place, a playing field, and every contestant's got the game face. Everybody's yelling, you ought to play it safe. Make sure them shoes are tied and ankles tape. Shake the cobweb, hit the ground running. This is how cunning I can get with the footwork. You're doing it right, well, it shouldn't hurt. Flirt with greatness, still outrun the famous. Nice high heels, I got mics for spikes. Trampling the home team and the turf for life. For the few fleet of foot, too fast for me. I fear none, cause I run and ignore the pair of feet by the tree that are fast asleep. In love with the game, you adore the hair. I believe in achievement. My soul isn't rewarded just cause it's easy goal and moves toward it. I'm not saying I'm impossible to outsmart my body and soul, or nothing without heart. And I'm not saying I'm impossible to outrun my body and soul, or nothing without love. And I'm not saying I'm impossible to outdo my body and soul.